Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to learn something very powerful and meaningful. The life-changing lessons from Jesus. His teachings are not only about religion, they are about life, mindset, peace, and how to become a better person. These lessons can guide you in difficult times, improve your thinking, and help you live a meaningful life. In this video, we will learn 10 powerful lessons from Jesus that can truly transform your life. Lesson 1. Love others unconditionally. The first and most powerful lesson from Jesus is love. Unconditional love. This is not just a simple idea. It is a deep and life-changing principle that can transform the way you think, feel, and live. Most people love with conditions. They love those who treat them well. They care for those who respect them. They are kind only to those who are kind to them. But Jesus taught something very different. He taught to love beyond conditions. He taught to love even when it is difficult. He taught to love not only friends, but also strangers, and even those who may not treat you well. This kind of love is not based on how others behave. It is based on who you choose to be. For example, imagine someone speaks to you in a rude or negative way. Your natural reaction may be anger. You may want to respond in the same way. But unconditional love teaches you to pause. Instead of reacting with anger, you choose calmness. Instead of spreading negativity, you choose kindness. This does not mean you accept wrong behavior. It means you do not allow negativity to control your response. You remain in control of your actions. Another important truth is that love is not only about others, it is also about your inner peace. When you hold anger, hate, or bitterness, it affects your mind. It creates stress. It disturbs your peace. But when you choose love, your mind becomes calm. You feel lighter. You are not carrying emotional weight. Unconditional love protects your inner peace. Another powerful aspect of this lesson is that love creates connection. When you treat people with kindness and respect, your relationships improve. People feel comfortable around you. They trust you. Even in difficult situations, love can reduce conflict. It can create understanding. Another important point is that love is a choice. It is not always easy. There will be moments when you feel hurt, disappointed, or angry. In those moments, choosing love requires strength. It requires control over your emotions. But this is where true growth happens. When you choose love in difficult situations, you become stronger. Another powerful truth is that love changes your perspective. Instead of judging people quickly, you try to understand them. You realize that everyone has their own struggles. This understanding creates compassion, and compassion makes you a better person. Another important lesson is that love spreads. When you act with kindness, it influences others. Your behavior creates a positive effect. Even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Another powerful benefit is that love removes fear. When your heart is filled with love, there is less space for anger, jealousy, and negativity. You feel more confident and peaceful. The truth is simple. Unconditional love is not weakness. It is strength. It shows that you are in control of your mind and emotions. It shows that you choose peace over conflict. It shows that you rise above negativity. When you practice this lesson daily, your life begins to change. Your relationships improve. Your mind becomes calm. Your heart becomes lighter. And you become a stronger, more positive person. That is why love is the first and most powerful lesson from Jesus. Because when you learn to love unconditionally, you begin to transform your entire life. Lesson 2. Forgive and let go. This lesson is simple to understand, but very difficult to practice. Most people hold on to pain. They remember what others did to them. They replay those moments again and again. They carry anger, resentment, and hurt inside their mind. But the truth is, holding on to these feelings does not hurt the other person. It hurts you. Jesus taught that forgiveness is the path to peace. Forgiveness does not mean that what happened was right. It does not mean you agree with the mistake. It means you choose to release the pain. You choose not to carry that burden anymore. For example, imagine someone hurt you in the past. If you keep thinking about it, your mind becomes heavy. You feel anger, you feel stress, and this affects your present life. But when you forgive, something changes. You let go of that emotional weight. You free your mind. You feel lighter. Another important truth is that forgiveness is for your peace, not for the other person. Many people think, why should I forgive them? But forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. It is about protecting your inner peace. When you do not forgive, you stay connected to that pain. But when you forgive, you break that connection. You move forward. Another powerful point is that forgiveness requires strength. It is easy to hold anger. It is easy to stay upset. But it takes strength to let go. It takes maturity to choose peace over revenge. This is why forgiveness is a sign of strong character. Another important aspect is that forgiveness does not mean you forget everything. You can still learn from the situation. You can protect yourself in the future. But you do not carry the emotional pain. You do not let it control your thoughts. Another powerful benefit of forgiveness is mental clarity. When your mind is filled with anger, it becomes difficult to think clearly. But when you let go, your mind becomes calm. You can focus better. You can make better decisions. Another important truth is that holding grudges limits your growth. When you stay connected to past pain, you cannot move forward. Your energy is stuck in the past, but when you forgive, you create space for growth. You open yourself to new experiences. Another powerful lesson is forgiving yourself. Sometimes the person you need to forgive is yourself. You may feel regret for past mistakes. You may blame yourself. But holding guilt does not help. You must learn to forgive yourself, learn from your mistakes, and move forward. This builds confidence and self-respect. Another important point is that forgiveness is a process. It may not happen instantly. Sometimes it takes time. But the intention to let go is the first step. With time, the pain becomes smaller. Another powerful benefit is emotional freedom. When you forgive, you are no longer controlled by past events. You take back control of your mind. You feel free. The truth is simple. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is power. It shows that you are stronger than your pain. It shows that you choose peace over anger. When you practice forgiveness, your mind becomes lighter, your heart becomes calmer, and your life becomes more peaceful. That is why forgiveness is one of the most powerful lessons from Jesus. Because when you let go, you truly move forward. Lesson 3. Have faith in difficult times. Life is not always easy. There will be moments of struggle, confusion, failure, and uncertainty. In those moments, it is easy to lose hope. It is easy to think that things will never improve. But Jesus taught something very powerful. He taught to have faith even when you cannot see the result. Faith means believing that things will get better, even when the situation looks difficult. It means trusting the process, trusting your effort, and staying strong when everything feels uncertain. For example, imagine you are facing a problem in your life. You are working hard, but you are not seeing results. Your mind may start creating doubts. Why is nothing changing? Maybe this will not work. These thoughts weaken your confidence. But faith changes your mindset. Instead of focusing on doubt, you begin to think, I will keep going. I trust that things will improve. This belief gives you strength. Another important truth is that faith does not remove problems. It gives you the power to face them. Challenges will still come. But with faith, you do not feel broken. You feel strong enough to continue. Faith gives you patience. It helps you stay calm in difficult situations. Another powerful aspect of faith is that it removes fear. Fear comes when you focus only on uncertainty. But when you have faith, you shift your focus. You believe that things will work out. This reduces stress and anxiety. Another important point is that faith and action go together. Faith does not mean sitting and waiting. It means taking action while believing in the outcome. For example, if you want success, you must work for it. But at the same time, you must trust that your effort will bring results. This balance creates progress. Another powerful benefit of faith is mental stability. When your mind is filled with doubt, you feel confused and stressed. But when your mind is filled with faith, you feel calm and focused. You do not panic easily. You handle situations better. Another important truth is that every successful person has gone through difficult times. But what keeps them moving forward is faith. They believe in themselves. They believe in their journey. They do not give up when things become hard. Another powerful lesson is trusting the timing of life. Sometimes things do not happen as quickly as you expect. This can create frustration. But faith teaches you to trust the process. It teaches you that growth takes time. This patience helps you stay consistent. Another important aspect is inner strength. Faith builds strength from within. You do not depend on external situations. Your strength comes from your belief. This makes you more stable and confident. Even when things are difficult, you feel that there is a purpose. You do not feel lost. You feel guided. The truth is simple. Without faith, difficulties feel overwhelming. But with faith, difficulties become part of your growth. Faith does not guarantee that everything will be easy, but it ensures that you will not give up. When you practice faith, your mind becomes stronger. You stay calm in challenges. You continue moving forward. And over time, your belief turns into results. That is why faith is one of the most powerful lessons from Jesus, because it gives you the strength to continue, even when everything feels uncertain. Lesson 4. Stay humble. He showed through his life that true greatness does not come from power, status, or pride. It comes from humility. In today's world, many people want to show superiority. They want to prove they are better than others. They seek attention, praise, and recognition. But Jesus taught a different path. He taught that being humble is a sign of true strength. Humility means staying grounded. It means not letting success make you arrogant. It means treating everyone with respect, regardless of their position. For example, imagine you achieve something great in your life. It is easy to become proud. You may start thinking, I am better than others. But humility teaches you to stay calm. You recognize your success, but you do not let it control your attitude. You remain respectful and kind. Another important truth is that humility keeps your mind open. When you are humble, you are willing to learn. You accept that you do not know everything. This mindset helps you grow. But when you are arrogant, you stop learning. You believe you already know everything. This limits your progress. Another powerful benefit of humility is better relationships. People feel comfortable around humble individuals. They trust them. They respect them. But arrogance creates distance. It pushes people away. Humility brings people closer. Another important point is that humility reduces ego. Ego is the need to always be right, to always win, and to always prove yourself. This creates conflict. But humility allows you to stay calm. You do not need to prove yourself all the time. You focus on growth instead of comparison. Another powerful lesson is that humility creates inner peace. When you are not trying to compete with everyone, your mind becomes calm. You are not stressed about what others think. You are focused on your own journey. This creates mental peace. Another important truth is that humility helps you handle success and failure. When you succeed, you stay grounded. When you fail, you do not feel completely broken. You accept both with balance. This stability is very powerful. Another powerful aspect of humility is gratitude. Humble people appreciate what they have. They do not take things for granted. They feel thankful for their opportunities and experiences. This attitude creates happiness. Another important point is that humility is not weakness. Some people think being humble means being weak or quiet, but this is not true. Humility means having strength without arrogance. It means being confident without being proud. It means knowing your value without needing to show it constantly. Another powerful benefit is that humility improves decision-making. When you are humble, you listen to others. You consider different ideas. This helps you make better choices. Another important lesson is that humility allows you to grow continuously. You are always open to improvement. You are not limited by your ego. This creates long-term success. The truth is simple. Pride may give temporary satisfaction, but humility creates long-term respect. When you stay humble, you grow more. You connect better with people. You feel more peaceful. And you become stronger from within. That is why humility is one of the most powerful lessons from Jesus, because it teaches you to stay grounded, keep learning, and live with true strength and peace. Lesson 5. Help others selflessly. This means helping people without expecting anything in return. In today's world, many people help only when they get something back. They expect appreciation, recognition, or some benefit. But Jesus taught a deeper truth. He taught that true kindness is selfless. It comes from the heart, not from expectation. For example, imagine you help someone who is struggling. If you expect praise or reward, your help becomes conditional. But if you help simply because it is the right thing to do, your action becomes pure. This is selfless service. Another important truth is that helping others brings inner happiness. When you support someone, when you make someone's life a little easier, you feel a deep sense of satisfaction. This happiness is different from temporary pleasure. It is calm, peaceful, and lasting. Another powerful point is that helping others builds strong character. It makes you more compassionate, more understanding, and more human. You begin to see life beyond yourself. You understand that everyone is facing their own struggles. This awareness creates kindness. Another important benefit is that selfless help improves relationships. When you help others without expecting anything, people trust you. They respect you. They feel connected to you. This creates strong and meaningful relationships. Another powerful truth is that even small acts of kindness matter. You do not need to do something big. Simple actions like listening to someone, guiding someone, or supporting someone in a small way can make a big difference. These small acts create positive impact. Another important lesson is that helping others does not reduce your strength. It increases it. When you give your time, your energy, or your support, you become stronger from within. You feel more confident. You feel more fulfilled. Another powerful aspect is that helping others reduces selfish thinking. When you focus only on yourself, your mind becomes narrow. But when you help others, your perspective expands. You become more balanced and positive. When you help someone, they are more likely to help others. This creates a chain of positivity. Your one action can influence many people. Helping others does not mean ignoring yourself. You must take care of your own growth as well. But when you are strong, you can help others better. This creates harmony. The truth is simple. Helping others selflessly is not a loss. It is a gain. It gives you happiness, peace, and purpose. It builds strong character and meaningful relationships. When you help without expectation, your heart becomes lighter, your mind becomes calmer, and your life becomes more meaningful. That is why selfless service is one of the most powerful lessons from Jesus. Because when you give without expecting, you truly grow. Lesson 6. Control your thoughts. Your thoughts are the starting point of everything in your life. Every action begins with a thought. Every decision comes from your thinking. Every habit is formed through repeated thoughts. If your thoughts are negative, your actions will become negative. If your thoughts are positive and clear, your actions will become strong and meaningful. This is why controlling your thoughts is so important. Jesus taught that the condition of your mind decides the condition of your life. For example, imagine you constantly think, "I cannot do this. I am not good enough." These thoughts create doubt. They reduce your confidence. They stop you from taking action. But if you change your thinking, "I will try. I will improve step by step." Now your mindset becomes stronger. You feel motivated. You take action. This shows that your thoughts directly affect your behavior. Another important truth is that thoughts are not always true. Many people believe every thought they have, but thoughts are often influenced by fear, past experiences, and habits. They are not always reality. When you understand this, you stop trusting every negative thought. You begin to question them. Another powerful point is that your mind needs direction. If you do not guide your thoughts, your mind will move toward negativity automatically. It will focus on problems, fear, and doubt. This is why you must consciously guide your thinking. You must choose what to focus on. Another important method is replacing negative thoughts. When a negative thought appears, do not follow it. Replace it with a better thought. For example, instead of "I will fail," think, "I will learn and improve." This simple change improves your mindset. Another powerful benefit of controlling your thoughts is emotional stability. Your emotions come from your thoughts. If your thoughts are negative, your emotions become negative. But when your thoughts are controlled, your emotions become calm. You feel more balanced. Another important aspect is focus. When your mind is filled with unnecessary thoughts, you cannot focus properly. But when you control your thinking, your mind becomes clear. You can concentrate better. You can work more effectively. Controlling your thoughts takes practice. It is not something that happens instantly. Your mind is used to certain patterns. Changing those patterns takes time. But with daily effort, your control improves. Your thoughts shape your future. What you think repeatedly becomes your belief. And your beliefs shape your actions. And your actions create your results. The truth is simple. You cannot control everything in life, but you can control your thoughts. And when you control your thoughts, you control your actions. And when you control your actions, you control your life. That is why controlling your thoughts is one of the most powerful lessons from Jesus. Because when your mind becomes strong, your life becomes strong. Lesson 7. Do not worry too much. In life, many people spend a large part of their time worrying about things that have not even happened. They worry about the future. They worry about problems that may come. They worry about things they cannot control. But this constant worrying does not solve anything. It only creates stress, fear, and confusion. Jesus taught a simple but powerful truth. Focus on today. Do your best in the present moment. And do not let your mind get lost in unnecessary worry. For example, imagine you have an important task or goal. Instead of focusing on what you need to do today, your mind starts thinking, what if I fail? What if things go wrong? These thoughts create fear. They reduce your confidence. They stop you from taking action. But worrying does not change the future. It only disturbs your present. Another important truth is that most worries are imaginary. They're based on what-if situations. And many of those situations never actually happen. But your mind keeps thinking about them again and again. This creates unnecessary stress. When you understand this, you begin to question your worries. You ask yourself, is this real right now? Most of the time, the answer is no. Another powerful point is that worry takes your energy. Your mental energy is limited. If you use it on worrying, you have less energy for action. You feel tired without doing anything. But when you focus on what you can do, your energy is used productively. Another important lesson is to separate what you can control and what you cannot. There are many things in life that are outside your control. You cannot control everything, but you can control your actions. When you focus on what you can control, your mind becomes calmer. You stop wasting energy on things that are not in your hands. Another powerful method is taking action. Action is the opposite of worry. When you take even a small step, your mind becomes more confident. You feel that you are moving forward. This reduces fear. For example, instead of worrying about a problem, ask, what is one small step I can take right now? This brings clarity. Another important benefit of reducing worry is peace of mind. When your mind is not filled with unnecessary thoughts, you feel calm. You can focus better. You can think clearly. Life is uncertain. No one knows the future completely. But worrying does not give you control over it. It only creates stress. Trusting the process and staying focused on the present gives you strength. Another important habit is staying present. When you focus on what you are doing right now, your mind becomes stable. You are not thinking about past or future problems. This reduces overthinking. Another powerful point is that worrying does not prepare you. It only makes you anxious. Preparation comes from action, not from worry. The truth is simple. Worry does not solve problems. It creates more problems. But when you reduce worry and focus on action, your mind becomes stronger. You feel more confident. You handle situations better. And you live with more peace. That is why Jesus taught not to worry too much. Because when you stop worrying, you start living. And when you focus on the present, you take control of your life. Lesson 8. Be honest and truthful. In today's world, many people choose shortcuts. They lie to avoid problems. They hide the truth to look better. They say things that are not real to gain approval. But these actions may give temporary comfort. In the long run, they create stress, confusion, and broken trust. Jesus taught that truth is the right path, even when it is difficult. Being honest means speaking the truth, living with integrity, and staying real in your actions. For example, imagine you make a mistake. It is easy to hide it. It is easy to lie and protect yourself. But this creates fear. You constantly worry about being exposed. Your mind becomes restless. But when you accept the truth, something changes. You feel lighter. You feel free. You are not hiding anything. Honesty builds trust. Trust is very valuable. Once people trust you, your relationships become strong. People respect you. They feel confident in you. But once trust is broken, it is very difficult to rebuild. This is why honesty is so important. Another powerful point is that honesty builds self-respect. When you live truthfully, you feel proud of yourself. You know that you are not pretending. You are not hiding. You are being real. This creates inner strength. Dishonesty creates fear and tension, but honesty creates calmness. You feel relaxed because you are not carrying any burden. Honesty does not mean being harsh. You can speak the truth in a kind and respectful way. Truth should not hurt others. It should guide and help. This balance is important. Another powerful lesson is being honest with yourself. Sometimes people lie to themselves. They ignore their mistakes. They avoid reality. But growth comes from honesty. When you accept your weaknesses, you can improve. When you accept your reality, you can change it. Honesty helps you make better decisions. When you see things clearly, without illusion, you choose wisely. You are not confused. You are not misled. Another powerful benefit is long-term success. People who live with honesty may face challenges in the beginning, but in the long run, they build strong reputation and respect. This leads to stable success. Truth gives you freedom. You are not controlled by fear. You are not hiding. You are living with clarity. The truth is simple. Lies may feel easy for a moment, but they create long-term problems. Truth may feel difficult for a moment, but it creates long-term peace. When you choose honesty, you choose strength. You choose clarity. You choose respect. That is why being honest and truthful is one of the most powerful lessons from Jesus. Because when you live with truth, you build a strong life from the inside out. Lesson 9. Be patient. In life, many people want everything quickly. They want fast success. They want instant results. They want everything to happen immediately. But the truth is, real growth takes time. Good things do not happen instantly. They require effort, consistency, and patience. Jesus showed patience in every situation. Even in difficult times, he remained calm, steady, and strong. This teaches us an important lesson. Patience is not about waiting. It is about how you behave while waiting. For example, imagine you are working toward a goal. You are putting in effort, but results are not coming quickly. Your mind may start creating frustration. You may think, "Why is this taking so long? Is this even working?" This frustration can lead to giving up, but patience changes your mindset. Instead of feeling frustrated, you stay calm. You trust the process. You continue your effort without losing focus. Another important truth is that impatience creates mistakes. When you rush things, you make poor decisions. You skip important steps. You lose clarity. But patience allows you to think clearly. You make better choices. Another powerful benefit of patience is emotional control. When things do not go your way, it is easy to react with anger or stress. But patience helps you stay calm. You do not react immediately. You respond with control. This improves your relationships and your decisions. Patience works with action. Patience does not mean doing nothing. It means continuing your effort without stress. You work, you improve, and you wait calmly for results. Another powerful benefit of patience is reduced stress. When you stop rushing and worrying about results, your mind becomes peaceful. You focus on your effort. This creates balance. Patience improves your perspective. When you are patient, you understand that life is a journey. You are not focused only on quick results. You are focused on long-term growth. The truth is simple. Impatience creates stress and mistakes. Patience creates clarity and strength. When you learn to stay calm, trust the process, and continue your effort, your life becomes more stable. You make better decisions. You handle challenges better. And you achieve meaningful results. That is why patience is one of the most powerful lessons from Jesus. Because when you learn patience, you learn to stay strong in every situation. And that strength helps you move forward without fear or frustration. Lesson 10. Stay strong in your purpose. Every person has a purpose in life. It may be to grow, to help others, to learn, or to create something meaningful. But the journey is not easy. There will be challenges. There will be doubts. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. Jesus showed the greatest example of staying committed to his purpose, even in the most difficult situations. He did not stop. He did not change his path because of fear or pressure. He stayed strong. This teaches us a powerful truth. If your purpose is clear, you must stay committed to it no matter what. For example, imagine you have a goal. At the beginning, you feel excited, you are motivated, you start working. But after some time, difficulties appear. You face problems, you feel tired, you feel doubt. In those moments, many people give up. They change their direction. They stop trying. But staying strong in your purpose means continuing even when it is hard. It means not letting temporary difficulties stop your long-term vision. Another important point is that purpose requires sacrifice. You may need to give up comfort. You may need to work harder than others. You may need to face challenges. But these sacrifices are part of growth. They make you stronger. Another important lesson is to ignore distractions. Many things will try to pull you away from your purpose. Easy options, comfort, and distractions can slow you down. But you must stay focused. You must protect your direction. When you stay on your path, you improve step by step. You learn from your experiences. You become better. When you work towards something meaningful, your life feels valuable. You feel that your actions matter. This creates deep satisfaction. Results may not come immediately. Progress may feel slow. But if you stay consistent, results will come. Trust the process. Purpose shapes your identity. What you work on daily becomes who you are. When you stay committed, you become strong, disciplined, and focused. The truth is simple. Giving up is easy, but staying strong is powerful. When you stay committed to your purpose, you build strength, confidence, and clarity. You move forward even in difficult times. And over time, your persistence creates success. That is why staying strong in your purpose is the final and most powerful lesson from Jesus. Because when you stay committed, no challenge can stop you. And when you do not stop, you grow, you succeed, and you create a meaningful life. These lessons from Jesus are simple, but they are very powerful. They are not just words to listen. They are principles to live. If you truly apply these lessons in your daily life, your thinking will change, your actions will improve, and your life will become more peaceful and meaningful. Start with one lesson. Practice it every day. And slowly, you will see a transformation in yourself. Remember, real change does not happen in one day. It happens through small actions repeated daily. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful and meaningful content. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.